Yep, here we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. We are doing something for the first time on this channel, one rental at a time. And I got to say, it's thanks to Dion and Matt, because both of them have the advanced version of Zoom, and I'm such a cheap ass, I won't buy it. But I digress. So first off, you should know Dion and Matt, because I talk to them both every week. Why don't we first go to Dion, and welcome to the show, man.
Howdy, Matt. Howdy, Mike.
There you go,
Matt.
Yep.
Same. Howdy, Mike and Matt, and then Dion. It's just going to be a one rental at a time palooza. It's going to be awesome.
So first off, thank you very much for doing this. This is my first time, so I will try to guide the conversation. It's going to be a lot of fun. You both have been contributors to my online course, so I want to thank you publicly for that. Right, Dion, you brought self-management. Lots of landlords across the country want to self-manage in what you have brought and will bring, because you still owe one more, right? The binder strategy is truly helping folks. Matt, you brought us the most recent edition, house hacking. It is certainly going to be something that inspires younger folks just getting going to really 4, 3, 2, 1. You gave them that. And just thank you, folks. If you haven't got the course yet, you need to. One rental at a time is really how to get started. One rental at a time is helping people. Thousands of students now. I was just checking today. The first, 12 o'clock, the first 12 hours, we have 215 active students today.
Wow.
In the course, listening to what's going on. So awesome. Thank you both for being a part of it.
Happy to.
Awesome. So that means I'm going to ask for more. You help me some. Let's see if I can get you to contribute more. So both of you are in the Facebook group. I've chosen 2 questions that came from the Facebook group, and they're going to be different sections. So here's the first one. I'll let you think about this, or Dion, you'll get the first crack at this, Matt next, and then I'll go last, because I want each of us, given the data we have, to say what we would advise. And I am 100% and actually hopeful it's different advice. It'd be really boring if it's, yep, I say the same thing. All right. So again, folks, if you don't know, Dion, Matt, and I are all financially free because of buy and hold rental properties. Never forget that. It's single family, it's residential, right? Duplexes, quads, all that. It got us here. So, okay, here's the question. Dion, you're going to be up first. After making it to 4 properties, I feel stuck till I can save up enough for my next down payment. I am watching my market and couldn't pull the trigger on at least 3 or 4 deals that made the cut. I feel like I need some positive energy and encouragement. What advice do you have for me? So what do you think, Dion?
I think it's going to be hard to keep it positive. If you had 3 deals that made sense and you had the money for the down payment and you are at 4, which means you know that it works, that means that in a year, that's 3 deals where at least one of them you're missing out on the appreciation from that deal. And we saw 16%, at least in my state, in the last year. So the next year is looking to be the same.
Yeah, I think
cash
Dion,
flow.
I think I may have read it wrong. He's saying, I don't have money for the 5th. He's not saying I have money for the 5th. That's how I read it.
Oh, I heard.
I must have read it wrong.
He didn't have the guts to pull the trigger on 3 deals, which made it seem like he could have.
No, what he's basically saying, and this is what I took from it. I have 4. I already bought 4. Love one rental at a time. I don't have any money right now for the 5th because I have to save money month after month after month after month after month after month to get ready to buy the 5th. That's how I read the question.
Okay. So that sounds different than what I heard. Those 4, if they're cash flowing, should have started an income snowball that can add to the savings rate. And yes, there is a gap between buying rental properties, and there are some creative ways to finance, but I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I like having an equity position of at least 30%, and that takes a down payment.
Right.
I actually have a VA loan available that I've never used because the idea of putting 0 down, right, if you're at 100% financed. Doing the work every day means that this person's going to know a good deal when they see it, but I would just keep saving until you have the down payment. And then, of course, both Matt and I are house hackers.
Yeah.
So you can do a smaller down payment, 5% with conventional, or 15% if you're going to do small multifamily. And that would take a less amount to save. But to have the knowledge now that you have 4 that are working,
Yeah.
it would drive me crazy saving up for that next one too,
Yeah.
which is strong motivation to keep doing it.
Yeah, no, I agree. And like you've said, hopefully the window between 1 and 2, or the window between 2 and 3 was shorter than 1 and 2 and 3. It's there can be air gaps if you're just grinding away savings because you want to get to that 20 or 25% down. Yeah. So I think, I think that's well said. Matt, you have any thoughts, or when you read that, what you might tell them?
Yeah, I mean, I think slow and steady wins the race, which is, the banks are there in certain ways to protect themselves, and a byproduct of that is them protecting us a little bit against our, from ourselves a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is to say, you've got 4, they're working, keep on making those work. If the deal of the century came along, I wouldn't be afraid to move into it and get an owner-occ loan and try and find a way to make that work.
Right. There you go. That's,
and creative financing. As you know, Mike, I'm doing kind of my first one on creative.
yeah.
Which we kind of talked through a little bit, but yeah, I mean, I think slow and steady wins the race. I think that you don't know what the next 6 to 12 months is going to hold. You don't know if it's going to be an up 15% market or up 5. You don't know if these 3 deals might be 3 deals out of 100 that work, but then you might see 30 deals out of 50 work in the next 6 months.
Yeah.
Because people, you're finding people that need to get out and that funding is still available. So I always find that you never know what the future holds. And so, you execute on the daily plan, which right now is just saving up for the next down payment. But I can tell you, it's a lot more difficult to get to $1 million than it is to get to $5 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because once you have $1 million or 2 and you have all that income coming in from all those units, it's just, it goes a whole lot faster.
Yeah. So when I read that question, and I have had the luxury of having 48 hours to think about it. You guys had like 5 seconds. So I appreciate it. What I thought first off is the guy that has the 1 rental at a time thing. I felt good, right? He got to 4, right? I talk about all the time, get to 4 and then decide if you want to get to 10. So first and foremost, I would tell you to step back, celebrate that as a moment. Don't beat yourself up because you don't have the 5th. Celebrate you have the 4th, right? That's kind of one of my biggest regrets is we didn't celebrate the milestones up the mountain. Second, a couple of things that I've experienced when I was finding deals and finding 2 or 3 deals in this market. I don't know what market he's in, but I would challenge you. Have you really tapped all your access to cash? For example, things that I have done when I found deals of the century. I had free and clear cars. I went and got a title loan to raise capital for a deal of the century. I borrowed from my 401k. I cashed out an IRA, right? Have you truly tapped every access to cash, or are you just looking at your freedom dollars and you're just stacking that, i.e. snowballing, right? If they're there, challenge yourself. If you really want to get crazy, did you get a job on the weekend? I mean, let's get nuts, right? If you're doing everything right, you have no more money. You have Saturday and Sunday. Go get another job. I mean, these are things that I seriously evaluated. Dion, you wanted to say something?
There's also another way to use that retirement account without having to tap it. When you're saving up a down payment to buy a property, and my son and daughter-in-law just went through this, they saved up a down payment. They were like all excited, let's go shopping. And then we learned about closing costs and reserves.
Yeah.
And so if this person is saving up for that next down payment, reserves is a factor, and lenders will recognize 50% of a savings account without you having to tap it as your reserves, which can lower the amount that you need to save to actually make that next offer.
That's great. And then the last thing that I did, and this is actually in the course, raising private money. And I actually put it in there. What I did is back before YouTube was around. So this was like 2009 and 10. I had a blog that I actually wrote my deals out just because, again, I was trying to help, but simply telling my network what I was doing, I was able to raise millions of dollars and was able to structure deals where it was win for me and win for them. So again, I don't know what market they're in. I don't know how skinny these deals are. I don't know what's going on, but damn it, start talking to your network about what you're doing. Just tell them. Tell everybody you know, right? If I found 3 deals that I couldn't close, personally, I'd do a video on it and talk about it endlessly. And then until somebody called me and said, hey, I got some money, let's do the deal together, right? I mean, let's get creative. Let's not just run into a wall and sit down. So, those are the first things. Congratulations. Look around for your cash. Go get another job if you want. But third, think about creative financing, how to structure a deal. right? Joint venture. I never do JVs, but maybe there's a loan. There's a second they can take, pay them higher interest rate. I mean, I was paying 10% for 10 years, interest only for easy math, but I'll borrow 10% to make 50 all day long. So, I mean, I think there's lots of things in that note. And again, they're all in the course, right? Raising private money, seller financing. You're doing a seller financing deal or pitching one now, Matt. So I think there's more ways than, hey, I'm going to save $500 a month until I have the next down payment. Does that make sense?
I agree. I agree. Yep. Yeah, totally.
Dion, any closing thoughts on this one? What would you tell them? Would you want to give them a congratulations, attaboys or anything?
Well, absolutely. The statistic, and I keep hearing different numbers, it's either 90 to 98% of real estate agents never own an investment property. So for somebody, and this might not even be an agent because I'm not an agent, to get to 4 is huge.
Yeah.
When you think of how many people never even get that first one.
Yeah, I don't know what the number is, but so many people get one and they get one by accident, right? They moved into a house, they became a rental after a decade, or they couldn't sell it. But I mean, yeah, it's getting to 4 can be life-changing. So how about you, Matt? Any closing thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I think you're doing a great job. 4 is enough for financial freedom.
It can be.
Just,
Absolutely.
and it takes time. That's the one thing that a lot of people don't understand is that you need to let some of your properties season a little bit.
Yeah.
Banks care about that.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you've done those 4 in 2 years, you're pushing pretty hard.
Yeah, you are.
And so, let them season. Who knows what the economy is going to do in the next, 6 to 12 months. And so slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah. So what I will do in closing is pretty much what I would do with all my sales reps, whether you were a top producer or somewhere in the middle. If you were in the bottom, you were gone. But I would pat you in the back. So congratulations on getting 4. Congratulations on doing the work. Now I'm going to kick you in the ass.
I'll go get 10.
Yeah. Though I'm going to tell you, there's more money out there usually than people think. Get creative and go talk to your network. You never know where you can get private money. So with that, folks, that is episode 1. 3 financially free individuals trying to help you with financial freedom. So thanks, guys.